Welcome to the On Purpose podcast, where together we will learn from personal stories and explore thought-provoking topics, all with one goal in mind: living a more purposeful life. Welcome, everybody, to year 5 solid years of the On Purpose podcast. And it's, man, I'm just always happy to be here with you. I took most of the month of December off from a lot of social media and a lot of just different things to kind of reflect and to sit back and take time to recharge. And I'm honestly thinking that might be something I do every year, is just kind of take December to, I don't want to say disengage, but definitely slow down some of my content and kind of just reflect and allow things to absorb of where I've been, where I want it to go, how life's looking, and to recharge. And I encourage all of you guys to think about that and to find time in your schedules and your days and your years to just sit back and think about the path you're on, the path you've been, to celebrate the highs and the lows, and to cherish all the moments that sometimes just speed by us. So if you hadn't seen me in a little bit, that's why. I hope you enjoyed the top 5 episodes to revisit of 2023, and they weren't necessarily the most listened or viewed on YouTube, but they were the conversations. When I looked back, I was like, man, this conversation really struck something with me, and I think there's content in those that can really help you be better and to have a little more purpose in life, or to find your purpose, or to step into it a little more. So if you didn't listen to all of them, please go back and hit those up as you go through your week and start this 2024 on the right foot. So this first episode I wanted to share with you is what I call What's the Word? What's the Word? And I want to give you some background on where this comes from. So we've talked about this before, how Andrea and I are big on vision boarding and creating a visual image of what kind of success we want, whether it's our business success, our relationship success, it's our goals in life, like putting pictures on boards with the words and really getting specific on what it is we want to attract through the universe, what it is we want to achieve in the upcoming year, what is it we want to share with each other and our family and our friends. And we've had a lot of success with that. The Airstream we're sitting in right now, I remember way back in like 2014, 2015, when Andrea started having this idea of traveling full-time and having an Airstream, which I didn't know anything about. She put an image of an Airstream on our vision board with a goal of when we were going to have this and when we'd be out traveling. And it was right inside our bedroom wall, just inside the door. So every time we walked out of the bedroom, it was the last thing we saw before we entered the rest of the house. And it was just crazy to me that a couple years later, we got almost the exact same kind of model of Airstream that was on that picture without knowing anything about it. Just kind of, we stumbled into it. And I think that's how the universe works, right? When you put out very clear intentions of what it is you want to attract, what it is you want to emit in the world, it's going to be reciprocated, right? When we're cloudy and we're not sure and we're just what's that saying, right? Oh, it's just going through the motions, or it's another day, right? Well, how's the universe reward you, right? If every day is the same, you really don't have any big intentions or big goals or dreams, how can it attract you to it, right? How can it lead you that way if it doesn't know where to send you because you don't know where you want to go? So we started vision boarding very clearly. It's something now that on December 31st, New Year's Eve every year, we sit down and we do what we call vision boarding or mapping for the upcoming year. And this year was pretty cool because we had Trey and Taya, our 2 youngest kids, with us. And the 4 of us sat down out in the, we were probably in the desert of California at that time. And we sat down and we led them through the exercises that we do to create our vision board for the year, so that they each individually had one. And it was fun just to see them reflect on what's possible when you believe, what's tangible and obtainable if you commit to it and you tell people, like, this is what I want. This is what I want from me. This is what I want to achieve. The other thing that I love about doing that and sharing it is it becomes accountable, right? It becomes accountable because now I can call up Trey or Taya the next time we cross paths and travel and say, hey, this is on your vision board. How are you doing here? What are the steps? Do you need some assistance, right? You can help people achieve because they've put it out in the universe. So now not only can the universe lead them that way, but now their friends and family can say, oh, you wanted to work on this. I know somebody that has this skill that can help you, or I have this tool which might make this life a little easier. Whatever the case may be, you can be part of the process. So that is kind of where we've been. And then in the last 3 years, I added another thing, another layer to it. And here's why. As resolutions and stuff, right? People kind of poo-poo New Year's resolutions, and I forget what the statistic is, but it's crazy about how many people can only stick with it for a week or 2 weeks, maybe a month, and then they fall back off, whether it's fitness goals, nutritional goals, reading books, watching less TV, spending more time with their spouse, whatever the case may be. And I think for me, a lot of times that happens, or my opinion on why that happens is we lose focus. Right? It's easy to set a goal. It's easy to set an intention. And sometimes we forget to remind ourselves of it. So 3 years ago, I started this, What is the Word? And what I like to do with the family is we sit down and we think about, we look at our vision board, we look at the map we want to have for ourselves, where we want to head, where we want to end up. But then we know, like we can anticipate there's going to be days we don't want to do what we're supposed to do. There's going to be moments where we might get distracted and move away from another goal to chase the next shiny object. And having this word was designed so in those moments I can think of the word, not a long phrase, not a mission statement, not a value statement, just a word that reminds me of what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Just a single word. So 2 years ago now, this is the third year I've done it. My first year I did it, my word was believe. And that was critical for me because it was a year in which we had so much transition of selling properties and businesses to living life in an Airstream and having to learn all the skills that it takes to basically tow your house with you everywhere you go and to plan all that. So believe was important for me because there was a lot of doubts. There was a lot of uncertainty, a lot of, man, I don't know if I can do this, or, what if this happens? And believe was just that I just needed to believe in myself and believe in my process and believe in the journey that it was all going to work out, which it does, right? So it was nice though, because in those moments of doubt, those moments of uncertainty, at the times that I just wanted to walk away from everything with the Airstream and the truck and just go back to my old house, which I had sold, so I really didn't have it, but just the figurative go back to my old house, my old life for the safety and security. In those moments I had to say, wait a second, I'm supposed to believe. I'm supposed to believe. Like, let me believe in me. Let me believe in this process. And I loved it. And really, I felt like it was really pivotal in that first year of transition to have something I just went back to. So then in 2023, my word was create. And it was time for me to create the things that would allow me to grow in the manner I had desired, right? I had to create the ability for us to continue to live in this lifestyle on the road by creating, right? By creating content, whether it's a podcast or my training business. I had to continue to create and move forward, right? Writing, reading, just creating a world where I was constantly growing. And that allowed me to have people around me grow. And in the moments of doubt, the moments of uncertainty, if I got up and I'm like, I feel like I've put in enough, I don't want to do it, I have to say, wait a second, create is my word. That means I'm supposed to be creating today. That means this next hour I need creative time. I need to block out all the distractions. I need to put everything else away and just sit down and create something. So then 2024, as I was on a nice walk the other day through the desert and feeling that wintertime, low level heat in the desert, which I love. And the scarcity of the desert, right? Like I really enjoy just walking out there and there's not a ton of vegetation. There's not a ton of birds. Like stuff lives out there, but you got to really look to see it. And they got to have a real direct purpose to live in the desert, or, they would be dead because that environment is so hostile. So just to see them and to enjoy their space and to walk in the vastness of such a place really gets me thinking. And this year, it helped me create my word for 2024, which is act. My word is going to be act. And it's time for me to act even further on the opportunities that are available to me. It's time for me to act by maximizing a window of opportunity, right? We only get so many opportunities in life, and the opportunities have windows. They open and they close. And it seems to me like I've built a lot of stuff in my life up to the moment I'm in now. Now it's time to step forward and act even more, act even more directly, act even more intentionally, act even more with purpose to stay in the space that I've created, right? Whether it's year 5 of the podcast or any of the other things we got going on, it's time to act. We did an episode towards the end of the year on moving past gathering information and taking action so that you can learn from your mistakes when you act versus always trying to analyze data. And I think for me at 2024, my word is act. And it's time to be acting. So when I have my work time, I need to be taking steps forward. When I have physical fitness time on my calendar, it's time to act and create that workout, right? And just acting all the manners that I know create success in my world. Because it's easy to get lazy. It's easy to sit back on our success and say, "Oh, I've gotten this already. I'll just continue going." But that doesn't get me where I want to be, and a lot of times it won't get you where you want to be either. So for my word, act. I have it written down on my computer. I save it in my notes, and then I even put it here. I'll show you my lock screen on my phone. You can see right there, act. So every time I touch my phone, I look, it reminds me I'm supposed to be acting today. What am I acting on? What am I building towards by creating momentum moving forward? So I ask you, maybe try this exercise for yourself. Like, sit down and think of your goals and your dreams and what it is you want to be achieving in 2024, what it is you want to have in your life, and not have necessarily tangible things, which aren't bad, but having feelings, emotions, relationships, the depth of conversations you want to have, the depth of friendships and love, all the stuff you want when you think about, man, what's my best life? Vision board, how do you get yourself there? And then we break it down into quarters. We like to break it by season. Winter, spring, summer, fall. So we know each season we got stuff we're working on that leads us to our year-end results that we're hoping to obtain. And then what is the word? What is that word you're going to go back to that helps keep you on task, that helps keep you moving forward so that 2024 is the year you're living your best life, the best life for you right now at this moment. So thank you all for being here. I would love for you to share on social media, in the comments on YouTube, wherever you're consuming our content. One, thank you for being here each and every week for year 5. That's crazy to me that we've been doing it this long because it seems like I just started, but it's a testimony to just keep showing up. We show up for each other, right? We build each other, and I'm excited for some of the conversations we're going to have in 2024 and just the relationships that we'll continue to build upon and the new ones that we'll bring in. And I would love to hear from you all. What is your word? What is the word for you for 2024? Have an awesome week, everybody. And remember, team, life is far too short to live any other way than on purpose. We will see you all again next week.